and I do want to get to what you're doing now, but I really want to talk about your experience with learning that you are a projector and that you're supposed to wait for the invitation, and then the bitterness, and then that loop of like being bitter that you can't do it. You feel like you can't do anything out of the, did you find yourself there for a while? Because I know I would get stuck in that loop.
Oh, at first I took it very literally.
Yeah.
Like to the point of nobody's asking me to speak in conversation, so I guess I'll just be quiet now. Like, and even with family and stuff like that, like nobody's recognized me right now, so should I not speak? I mean, just really took it literally at first. I mean, when I first met this coach and I had gone through all that, I was very much like an angsty teenager. That's the part of me that was really forward. I was
At
not,
50.
I wasn't adulting very much.
Right.
And so I was kind of this protective, angsty teenager who, and at that age, you take things literally, and you're angry and you're bitter. And so I really just took the invitation was like, oh, well, I'm not being recognized. Guess I shouldn't say anything right now. And that's where I was at first. And then, the thing that shifted for me most recently was when I heard Karen talk about with projectors, is that the more you're deconditioned and aligned to who you are, there isn't as much need for an invitation, because you're trusting your intuition, your instinct, and that there's nothing clouding your ability to then give to guide. If you're sensing that this person's ready for guidance,
and there's also, I don't mean to interrupt, but that really resonates when I started to understand that, because when you really trust that you're not looking for an invitation as a sign of recognition, like, oh, they see me, or here, let me tell them this so they see me, even though you don't feel it inside. When you really can, like, that's been my thing, is letting go of the attachment. So if I'm doing something with no attachment to the results, I don't feel that I need the same kind of invitation. If it's something I'm doing for me and I'm not attached to how someone else responds to it, then I don't need an invitation. If I'm doing something for them, I need the invitation.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. You need their energy to plug into, because we
Right.
don't have sustainable sacral energy. So if I need their energy to plug into, if there's not an invitation, then I know, I can feel that now. I never knew what that was, but now I can feel like, I'll be on a call with somebody who's sacral, and I'll know immediately when their energy's done.
Yeah.
Like, okay, we're done. Because I can, it's like all of a sudden, boom, it's not there anymore. That energy's not there anymore. And so it's really like, and it can be energetic too. Like you just energetically can feel, like I just said, you can feel that they're plugging their energy in, and but I tend to anymore, when someone says to me, what do you think about this? I immediately go, do you really want to know what I think about it? And give their sacral a chance to respond.
Mm-hmm.
Because, sometimes I have the gate of shock. I have the 51. It can be shocking what I say to you. So I want to really know, do you want to hear what I have to say?
Or are you ready to hear what I have to say?
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
And so I have found myself to do that. Or even when there's no, like if there's a conversation happening, I've now learned to say to the group, do you want to know what I think about this? And see if any of the generators, or manifesting generators respond.
Right.
A lot of times I will wait. For me, what happened is there was a lot of confusion for me between recognition and attention.
Yes.
I have an undefined throat. So, I spent my whole life trying to seek attention. And so there was this confusion, again, angsty teenager in me, right? Who doesn't quite think, like an adult, who was like confused, like, wait, what, recognition versus attention? So that's been the other thing for me to really to connect with is what's the difference between those two?
And have you figured that out? For you?
I figured it out in the sense of when it's me, when I feel like, oh, I need attention right now, it's because there's a child in me that didn't get its needs met, didn't get the attention. So I give myself that attention.
Well, you're also very tribal, right? I mean, you have the 3740 and
Yeah.
is that your only, I'm
No, I
trying to,
have that and the 2551.
2551. Okay, so the 2551 is individual,
Mhm.
right? And then the 3740, but that 3740, I mean, if you were going to pick a tribal channel, to me, that's like the most tribal channel. And, so you really need that. And there's a lot of need for hugs and touch and just, physical love in that sort of channel. So yeah, sometimes we need to our inner child just needs a hug. Do you have a good teddy bear?
I have a dog.
Well, that's even better.
Yeah, no, I have a dog. And during COVID, I had cats.
Oh yeah.
And I would, I really had to rely on them because I live alone. And so, yeah, I definitely, that touch thing is a huge piece for sure.
Right.